Sugar is bad for you. It's going to make you fat. Fat is bad for you. Definitely going to make you fat. You know what? What's the real truth about sugar and fat? Welcome to the latest episode of the Mind Body Health Podcast. Hope you're good and hope you're having a good day and week wherever you are and wherever you're tuning in from. In this episode, I'm going to speak about sugar and fats. I've spoken about them before, but it's a topic that needs to be readdressed repeatedly because there's so much myths and misinformation and blatant, lies and misleading information out there about these two food sources or nutrients, whatever you want to refer to them as. So let's take them individually. Like, both are seen as they're going to make you fat. So in this modern world where carbohydrates and thus sugars and fats and the different types of fats are villainized, and at various times it's like it fleets from one to the other, they're the reason why people are fat. This is what's put out there, and inverted commas scientific research showing it, and so on. Then you've got all these different diets and diet books and inverted commas experts claiming with beyond doubt why fat is bad for you and why sugar is bad for you. However, what all these situations, books, inverted commas experts, information, scientific information, so on, fail to ever do is actually give you the clear, full picture of the situation. Because all they ever do, because it's the easiest thing to do, is just to classify sugar as sugar and just to classify fat as fat. When the reality is there's different types of sugar, there's different types of fat. And those different types will have a dramatic difference in their impact on your body, as well as your energy, as well as your brain function, your fat levels, longevity, your bowel movements, literally everything. So it's not a correct, accurate statement just to say fats are bad for you, they'll make you fat. Sugar is bad for you, they'll make you fat. Yet this is what is being put out there. What's the reality? Well, let's take sugars first. The reality is that there's good sugars and there's bad sugars. Both will have a dramatic difference in how your body will react. So again, when you just count, sugar is bad for you, and even broader sense, carbohydrates, which is very prevalent right now, pushing that carbohydrates are bad for you and pushing just protein and paleo and carnivore and so on. Like, one, it fails to acknowledge and address the fact that, like petrol, diesel to a car, our bodies run off carbohydrates. Our brain runs off carbohydrates. That's why if you don't have carbohydrates, like people do in cutting phases or trying to get ready for weigh-ins, or people do bodybuilding, that's why they feel absolutely horrendous for the period of time that they're off carbohydrates, because their brain relies on them. They've got brain fog, their mood's affected, their energy is affected, their concentration's affected, focus is affected. Everything is affected related to their brain, which clearly shows that we need carbohydrates. Okay? But the difference is, there's a huge difference between you consuming loads of, let's say, donuts versus fruit. If you're having bananas and apples and grapes and mangoes and pineapple and such, how can we classify those foods and their impact on the body to donuts, chocolate bars, all the processed food that's out there that's sugar laden? How can we compare those two? We can't, but that's what happens. They're all classified into the same bracket. When the reality is, you take a donut, your blood sugar is going to go through the roof. So it's going to go straight up really, really high, and then it has to drop back down. It's going to drop through the floor. When it drops to the floor, the body wants to rectify itself. The body wants to be in a point of like homeostasis and be at a level point and be ticking away, let's say. So what does it do? Okay, what was the last thing that helps to get blood sugar up? Oh, it was that thing that got put in, which happened to be the donut. The body wants more. That's where the cravings come from. It's trying to rectify itself. Okay, as well as the fact that sugar is addictive, which is another thing, another story. Refined sugar, that is, it's highly addictive. So you want more anyway. So between cravings, the sugar effect, chemical effect, you want more, you may go have more. Blood sugar goes through the roof again, it drops down again. What also happens with this? It's caused your insulin levels to go up and down and be very erratic. That causes fat storage. So that obviously is a reason for storing fat, causing more fat, burning less fat. All that is true. You got that type of sugar. However, if you take fruit, which again gets blocked into the same argument, Fruit is nature's food. Fruit is nature's medicine, as I often refer to it as. Fruit is there for us to consume. Fruit is perfectly packaged. There's a key thing in fruit that isn't in a donut, apart from nutrients, because a donut has zero nutrients that are of benefit to us. Fruit is full of nutrients, phytochemicals, antioxidants, so many different things that are good for us. But a key thing that's in there is the fiber. That's the difference between a donut and a banana, let's say, and why you cannot classify them together like people do, or inverted commas, experts do, I should say. The role of fiber is you eat that banana goes into your system. You've broken it down. You've chewed it, hopefully, quite a bit. Goes into your stomach, hydrochloric acid. Fiber will basically take the nutrients and put them around the body where they need to go. It'll come out then to your intestine. It's grabbing the toxins. The toxins then are brought out of your body. So I always compare fiber to like a taxi. The taxi is picking up the good guys outside your body, so the fruit and nutrients and antioxidants and so on. It brings it into your body, so it's a way of transporting it in. It drops them off as the body's breaking it down, and then it grabs the toxins and it comes out of your body through the intestines and in the excretory system. So it's like it drops off the good stuff, picks up the bad stuff, and then brings them out of your body. So fiber is the key difference. Fiber decreases the speed at which the sugar from the fruits gets released. It's the perfect food. It's designed for that. That's why if you juice, you're taking the fiber out. So it's like a heroin shot. It's straight in. It's same like the donut. It's straight in. The sugar, or people have like juices and stuff, or very high sugar containing foods, especially in liquid form, like gels and things. It's straight into your system because there's nothing to stop it. The fiber in fruit is slowing it down. That's why, again, fruit's the perfect food. It gets into your body, it gets the energy into it. It gets into it reasonably fast because it breaks down fast, but not so fast it's going to cause terrible spikes in your insulin levels. So this is why you cannot compare fruit to bad sugar sources like your cakes and your donuts and your chocolates and so on. Yet again, they're all blocked in together as, oh, sugar's bad for you. Sugar will make you fat. Sugar causes this, causes that. No, that's not true. Bad sugar causes that. Now, I just want to add a little caveat. In terms of from a calorie perspective and gaining fat will obviously come from eating worse foods. That's because just this acceleration on the negative impacts, plus there's such an impact on the sugar levels and insulin levels and stuff like that. But if you consume too many calories, it's still too many calories. Doesn't matter if it's good food or bad food. So calories are calories in terms of overall, how much did you consume in a day? So if you consume 2,250 calories in a day of really good food or really bad food, but you burn 2,000, there's 250 calories left over. They have to go somewhere. It stores fat, eventually. So if you overconsume, you overconsume. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad food. Of course, you overconsume bad food. It won't just be about adding fat, but there'll be other negative impacts to your body. That's why, again, there's always a bigger picture to this. It's not just about you gaining fat, which is all we ever hear about. Because again, it's when we're pushed on image and how we look and all, and comparison, which is what society is driven by, that's the key thing to focus on. So that's the sugar. Now let's go on to fat, and it's pretty much the same kind of concept. So all fat is bad for you, supposedly. But again, how can we compare an avocado to, let's say, deep fried battered fish? How can you compare those two? What nutrients are in the deep fried battered fish? Even the fish itself, which would have had some nutrients, the cooking process pretty much destroyed most of them. Whereas an avocado, again, nature's food, nature's medicine. How can that be bad for you? As I said about the calories a minute ago, if you overconsume calories, it has to go somewhere. So if you consume too many calories of anything, fat, carbs, proteins, or just overall, it'll go somewhere. So people going, oh, avocados are so high in fat and they're so bad for you and they make you fat. What a load of rubbish. They're higher calories per gram. They're 9 calories per gram versus carbs and proteins only sources have 4 calories per gram. So if you consume the same amount of avocados as, let's say, rice or porridge or chicken or tofu, yes, it'll be way more calories you'll have consumed with the same quantity. But it depends on the overall day. It's not just one thing is bad for you from that perspective. You cannot compare an avocado to, as I said, deep fried battered fish. Avocado is full of good fats, good healthy fats, which are very good for your skin especially. Avocados in particular are really good for your skin. and your hair, skin, and nails, and overall function of your body. Plus, good fats encourage your body to utilize the stored fats in your body to burn fat, whereas bad fats do the opposite, and they'll add fat to your body. There's so many benefits to having good fats in your diet. Good fats would be avocados, nuts, seeds, nut butters, healthy oils. That's your good fats. Now, if you consume animal products, which again I don't advocate, but if you do, oily fish like salmon, trout, mackerel would be something you would throw into the mixture for getting good essential fats. Okay, so you need good fats, and then you got the protein sources from the avocados as well. But fats are not all the same. Like the sugars, they're not all the same. There's good fats, there's bad fats. So think of all the processed food again, high in fat, all the different sauces made with loads of cream and butter, lots of fat. It's like even for butter at room temperature, it's solid. That shows how fat something is. That shows how much fat is in something if it remains solid at room temperature. So this is why it's important for you to understand that there's a difference between fats. There's good fats, there's bad fats. They're not all the same. You need to make sure, again, you have that distinction. Because if you listen to certain, inverted commas, experts or certain scientific, inverted commas, research and read certain books, they're very good at putting across inverted commas argument, let's call it, because it's clever manipulation of words is what I would call it. But they're clever putting that across that it makes sense. Like even the Atkins book. Atkins, because I read it out of, again, research to see, okay, how are they actually getting people to make sense out of this insane diet? But the way the book is written is genius in that it does make it sound like it's perfect and that it makes perfect scientific sense. When even just from a logical point of view, it doesn't. And then in reality, from a scientific point of view, real science, it doesn't either, or it didn't, because I think it's mainly gone now. Most people don't follow it. But the modern version now is like paleo and keto and carnivore and so on. Same premise, just different. And this will happen forever because people are always looking for quick fixes. There'll always be diets, there'll always be extreme diets, there'll always be lies and manipulation of words in these things out there in the health and wellness industry because it makes money. And people are always looking for an easy option. So they will latch to these things and make these people lots of money, which they shouldn't. Bottom line is focus on keeping your bad fats and bad sugars to a minimum, if not zero, and keep your good fats and your good sugars in your lifestyle. Be very conscious to consume them because they provide a very important source of nutrients and provide very important functions in the body. So don't avoid good fats, don't avoid good sugars. And then overall, bigger picture, just be aware of watching the quantity of any nutrient you're consuming, because again, the amount of calories you consume today, good or bad, will determine are you going to lose fat or gain fat or stay the same. All right. So I hope this has clarified a bit for you on the fat and sugar argument. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you place it below the episode. If it's giving you an option like it does in Spotify or potentially YouTube, answer the poll. That'd be really appreciated. And also, most importantly, share this episode out there because we need to get the truth out there. I'm very passionate about sharing the truth. I'm very passionate about educating people, motivating, inspiring people so they can live their best lives. Because I want people to live their best lives. I want people to be happy and healthy and have longevity and prevent diseases and so on. And this can only happen if we know the truth. Because otherwise, you're drawing disease towards you instead of pushing it away. So I'm always educating people on how to push it away. So look forward to hearing your feedback. Please share this out there. Give us a rating. Give us a review. And I look forward to speaking to you on the next episode.